Hello, my name is Chris, and today I want to talk about anger and stress. But not just any anger and not just any stress. I want to talk about the kind of anger and stress and frustration and anxiety that overwhelms you when you're first trying to quit smoking. When you maybe like a day or 2 days or perhaps even as much as a week or maybe more, and the withdrawal symptoms from cigarette just overwhelm you to the point that you feel tense and angry and like your blood is boiling and your skin is crawling, and underneath your skin it's like your veins are itching. You don't know what to do. You don't know whether to tear your own hair out, to scream, to shout, to cry, to throw something, to go find somebody and beat them up. That's never a good idea, trust me, especially if you're a wimp like me. You will get your ass handed to you. But you just don't know what to do. And it seems like there's only one solution, and that's pick up another cigarette and make those feelings go away. But you don't want that, because you're trying to quit smoking and you are doing so good so far that it would be such a shame now to let these feelings win. So then you've got another option, right? You take out your feelings on someone that's nearby, whether it's a stranger in a shop or a loved one. You want to shout at them and take out your anger on them, and then, do you know what? That never helps either. Trust me. I did that so many times in my failed attempts at quit smoking that I would get overwhelmed by those feelings. I'd get stressed out, I'd get frustrated, I'd get angry, and someone would get it. I'm not proud of that. I don't say that with any kind of, yeah, someone got it. Like, no, it was a horrible thing to do, and I've had to work hard to make amends to people, make up for snapping at them. But I did it so many times. Like, I could be in a shop and I'd yell at someone, or a girlfriend or my ex-wife or whatever. She'd get it when I was trying to quit smoking. And you know what? Shouting never helped. Neither did breaking things. I broke a lot of stuff too. Like, I broke a laptop once. That was a costly mistake. I broke a lot of mugs. I noticed over the years I tend to have a bad habit of, like, I'll be at work and something don't go my way, so I've got a cup of tea next to me, so the cup gets it. Rafa! Yeah. Smashing a cup never made me feel better. Do you know what else? The feelings just kept coming and coming and coming, and then I pick up a cigarette. So when I quit smoking this time, we're talking 15 months ago now, I had to do things differently, because I was not going to let the feelings of anger and stress and frustration overwhelm me to the point that I picked up a cigarette, and I certainly wasn't going to let them overwhelm me to the point that I took it out on my nearest and dearest, or even a random stranger. So today I want to talk about a couple of the things that I used to help me deal with that anger positively, to deal with those feelings of being so overwhelmed that you don't know what else to do without picking up a cigarette and without hurting somebody else. Are you ready? Let's go do it. Okay, so the first thing, and this is so important to me, the first thing that I have learned to do to deal with the feelings that come up as a result of quitting smoking, whether it's stress, anxiety, anger, is to let them be okay. To let it be okay to be stressed, to let it be okay to be angry, to let it be okay to be frustrated, or whatever it may be. I think so many times we are told anger is bad, you shouldn't be angry. Stress is bad, you shouldn't be stressed. Frustration is bad, you shouldn't get frustrated. Like, we're all supposed to walk around on this perfectly calm Zen cloud or something all the time. That's not the reality. The reality is that I am a human being, and one of the unfortunate consequences of being a human being is that I have to feel all of my feelings, especially as someone who no longer blocks their feelings out with cigarettes or alcohol or anything like that. So it has to be okay to feel whatever I am feeling. Because look, let's say that I say it's not. Let's say that I buy in to this idea that anger is bad, stress is bad, frustration is bad. And I tell myself that. I cannot get stressed because stress is bad. I cannot get angry because anger is bad. I cannot get frustrated because frustration is bad. Because I am human, and because I am a human who is trying to quit smoking, one of the inevitable consequences of quitting smoking is that I will get frustrated, angry and stressed. I then go, well, now I'm angry, and anger is bad, so I am doing a bad thing. Oh no. And because I'm doing a bad thing, I feel guilty about doing this bad thing, being angry. And then because I'm doing a bad thing, that inevitably means that I am a bad person. Then my self-esteem takes a tumble. So now I've got all this low self-esteem, guilt and shame on top of the original blood-boiling, skin-crawling stress, anxiety, whatever it happens to be. It's beating me into submission, bang, 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 to the point where without really thinking about it, I justify taking a cigarette because I have no other option to get rid of these feelings. And there's a car alarm, that's really annoying. And besides, okay, if I've already done this one bad thing of being angry when I'm not supposed to, then does it really matter if I do another bad thing because I've told myself that smoking is bad as well? So does it really matter now that I'm a bad person doing bad things? I might as well do another bad thing and smoke. We're back to square one. I don't want that anymore. I don't want to go back to square one. I've worked too damn hard and I've gone through too much of these intense feelings to go back there. So I've got to find another way. And another way is not taking it out on somebody else. That is the one golden rule that I have about any kind of feeling, especially a negative one. Is that I have to be, it's okay to be or to feel whatever I'm feeling. It is not okay under any circumstances whatsoever to take those feelings out on somebody else. That doesn't mean that I can't talk to anybody else and tell them how I'm feeling, but I'll get to that in a moment. What it means is, if you're here and I'm tense and like, yeah, and want to pull my hair out, I can't shout at you. I can talk to you. Do you know what? I'm having a really hard time. Can we talk? But I can't go and like shout at you, because then you won't talk to me and you won't watch my videos and we won't get to hang out anymore. And that'll make me sad in the long run. So what I have to do is to find a way to like be, well, okay, this is how I'm feeling, to process it, to deal with it, to accept it in a way that is, I'm going to say healthy, in a way that is healthy to the point that it doesn't affect other people. And like I said, because in my early quit attempts, I was so bad at just snapping and throwing things that I knew that when I quit smoking this time, for like 15 months now, I had to do things differently. Because clearly snapping and throwing things didn't work. So I had to do things differently. And we'll talk about a couple of the things that I did. Hopefully they will work for you too. To just, not to avoid anger or avoid stress or pretend like it isn't happening, but to just deal with it appropriately. And the first one is one I call the train technique. I'm sure there is probably a better word for it, or an official word for it, or psychologists might know about it, I don't know. I learned this technique from a counsellor that I went to see I think it was about 18 months ago. I went seeing a counsellor. and he taught me this technique, and I'm going to share it with you now. The train technique was originally taught to me to help me deal with overthinking, because I was terrible at that. Just like my brain would not stop racing. So the counsellor that I worked with taught me to imagine my thoughts as like a literal train of thought ploughing down a track, and then to visualise myself in the cabin or of the train, or if I can't do that, to just visualise a lever that is going to make the train stop. And I always just imagine this huge lever that is about as big as me, and I grab hold of this lever and I pull it down, and the train just slows down, and then it stops. I've started to use that for other things. If I'm angry or stressed, I often think of the train plummeting out of control with like sparks flying, like red hot sparks, like red hot anger, and like steam coming out of it, like the steam coming out the top of my head, but I'm so fucking angry. Ah! And it's plummeting along, and I just visualise this huge lever, and I grab it and I just slow down until the train stops. And when the train stops, then I can start to ground myself and take myself out of the anger, out of the train. The anger is still there, the stress is still there, but it becomes an external thing that I have to deal with, and not something that I am so caught up in that I can't, I'm not trapped in it anymore. I have the freedom to deal with it. So I ask myself grounding questions, like simple things like, how do I physically feel at the moment? Like, am I hot? Am I cold? This top that I'm wearing, the sleeve is wet, so I notice it. Where am I? What can I smell? What can I touch? What can I taste? Things that just sort of take me out of that situation. But that doesn't mean that I take myself out of this situation and leave the anger there and then go home. That anger or that stress or that frustration is a sign from my body telling me something's wrong, even if the only thing that is wrong is that I'm craving a cigarette. But I have to identify that in the first place, right? So then I have to ask more questions. I start with, what am I actually angry about right now? What am I actually stressed about right now? It turns out that most of the time, it isn't what I thought it was about. I'll give you the absolute most perfect example of this, right? On Friday night, I went to do some grocery shopping, and the incident I'm about to tell you now is the incident that inspired me to make this video, okay? I've had a horrible couple of weeks. My last video that I posted a few weeks ago, I talked about bereavement. I'd literally just lost my grandmother on that day. I was very close to her, and I was sad and upset, but also dealing with a lot of family drama, because like my mum and her sister don't get up, my grand's two daughters do not get on. There's a lot of drama and a lot of tension and a lot of fighting, and in some bizarre way that I'm still not entirely sure how it happened, I got pulled into the middle of that. So I was dealing with that and working every hour in the universe at the minute. I have my normal job that I do day to day. I'm a freelance writer, and I kind of love that job, even though it gets, it does get stressful at times, but I deal with it. And then I've also taken on a second temporary job just for a few weeks, because I want to get some money together to go to school, to get a qualification so that I can work with people, dealing with addictions and depression and stuff like that, and actually, go and help them. Rather than just making videos, actually go and sit with people and help them. So I want to go back to school, so I'm working this other job. So I'm working all the damn time, right? and I'm dealing with bereavement and there's family stress, and things are piling up at home. I've got letters that are unopened, and my kitchen needs to be cleaned, and all this stuff is piling up and up and up and up and up. And it all came to a head on Friday evening. I just worked like the longest shift in the history of the universe. And no exaggeration there either. It's like literally the longest shift in the history of the universe. I worked it. And then I had to go and do some grocery shopping because I just had, like, my cupboards were barren and I was starving. So I went to this one supermarket, and for some unknown reason my card wouldn't work in the thing. So I thought, right, okay, what do I do in this situation? So I left there and I went to another supermarket, and then I started to get angry because I didn't really know this other supermarket, so I couldn't find what I wanted. They had no vegetarian food at all, it seemed. The straw that broke the camel's back, I just had this real craving for like a vegetarian pizza, and I could not find one anywhere. And it was just like, I just felt all this anger rising, everything. It was the same kind of feelings that you're probably going through now, or that you've been through, and especially that I went through when I was first trying to quit smoking. That tension, that you just want to do that with your hands and shake, and you grit your teeth and you're like, yeah, that kind of thing. I pulled the lever, I slowed down. I'm like, okay, how do I feel right now? I'm cold, a little bit hungry. But I'm here, I'm okay, let's deal with this, how I'm feeling. What am I actually angry at? I'm not actually angry that I can't find a pizza in a supermarket. I'm not even angry that my card didn't work and I had to come to the other supermarket. I'm not even angry about having worked a long day. I'm angry because what I really want right now is just to be at home. I want to go home and take a long shower and sit down and eat some good food and rest and catch up with my friends on YouTube. And I was being denied all of that because I couldn't find this bloody pizza. And it's like, right, okay, so I know what I want and what I'm angry about. And most of the time, any stress, any anger, any anxiety comes down to, I'm not getting what I want right now. So I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to find this vegetable pizza. It ain't that important. I'll go and get something else. I'll go and pay for my shopping. I'll just get home. And I started to walk home, and slowly, I've started to realise, you know what, it's going to be okay, Chris. You're going to go home now and have that hot shower that you want. You've got the food well, not the food that you want, but consolation food, second best food. But there's still all that residual energy within me. One of my favourite bands in the world is a band called Public Image Limited. If you haven't heard of them, go and listen to them. It's the band that Johnny Rotten and John Lydon formed after leaving the Sex Pistols. They brought out a song called Rise. The main part of that song is just Johnny singing, "Anger is an energy." And I love that. I've heard that so many times, and it's only recently that it's come to make a lot of sense to me. Yes, anger is an energy. So even after I have psychologically pulled myself out of the anger, I've slowed the train down, I've asked questions, I've realised that all I'm angry at is not getting what I want. I'm still tense, and I still don't know whether I want to rip someone's head off or shout or what I want to do. So then I turn to my vent buddy. And this is like the second thing that I do quite regular, and my vent buddy will do it to me when she's having a hard time. I have someone that I can talk to who will not judge, and most importantly will not give me solutions, suggestions, or tell me what to do. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I just hate that. Sometimes I just want to tell somebody how I'm feeling. That's it. I don't want any feedback. Sometimes I do, and that's fine. But sometimes I just want to say, do you know what? I just feel shit right now. And I just want another person to say, well, that's okay. You know, I'm here. Tell me why you feel shit, if you want to. I have that with my friend. Her name is Sam. As I was going home, I just got Skype on my phone and I messaged her and I was just like, "Fuck!" with a big angry face. And then we talked for just a little bit and I said, you know what, it's just been a horrible day. I just need to get this out of my system. You know, and all Sam said was, we all have days like that, I'm glad you're okay now. That's it, no feedback, no, well you should do this or you should think that or you should. I hate being told what I should do, even by me. So I go to my vent buddy and I vent. I feel a little bit better still. And at some point my vent buddy Sam is going to get pissed off about something. She does, a lot. And she's going to come to me and vent, hopefully. And you know, and I'm not allowed either to say, well, you should do this or you should try this or have you thought about. It ain't about that. It's just no feedback, no judgment, just someone to vent to. And now if you don't have someone to vent to, I'm right here. Drop me a comment down there and I'll come give you a hug if I can reach you. Do you know what I've also got to do? Is take good care of myself physically. Excuse me. In one of my other videos, and to be honest I forget which one, I talk about quitting coffee when I was going through, you know, my early quit smoking attempt, because I realised that every time I drank coffee it made me want a cigarette so much that those feelings that we've been talking about, that feeling of just those feelings would swell up every time I drank coffee. So I'm like, I need to get rid of this. And I know what you're thinking, no, not the coffee, anything but the coffee. Please don't take away my precious coffee. I know, I was like that because I used to love coffee. But it didn't do me any good. And I even noticed that after a while that I'd stopped drinking coffee, okay? Every now and again I go, well, I'll be okay now, I'll have a cup of coffee somewhere. And then, you know, within like one cup I'd be like bouncing off the walls and I'd be so anxious and I'd be like, yeah! It was just terrible. So I stopped. But recently, I'm not perfect. Saint Christopher is the guy on the jewellery, I'm just regular Christopher. I do dumb stuff. I started drinking coffee again and I made the realisation this weekend it's got to go again because it doesn't do me any favours. I started drinking coffee again because, like I said, I'm working every hour of the day and I'm just like, this will just keep me going. So, but it doesn't, I feel it, I start to feel tense again. I definitely feel more tense and more stressed and more anxious after coffee than I do without it. You might not be like that. I know people that they have a cup of coffee and it's just like the most perfect, wonderful thing in the world. They feel calm, relaxed and zen. If you're that, then ignore this, you know, stick your coffee. But if you have a coffee and then it makes you want a cigarette or it makes you start withdrawing from, it brings up those feelings of anger and tension and stress, get rid of it. Get rid of caffeine. I know it sucks, but you will thank yourself for doing it. I have to also eat better and sleep better. One of the biggest causes of anger and stress for a lot of people, especially for me, is being overly tired. Like I said, I have been working so many hours lately. I'm exhausted. Because I'm exhausted, I am irritable. Because I am irritable, I'm getting that skin crawling, itching, blood boiling feeling. Because I know what these feelings are, or what I associate them with is quitting smoking. The devious, cunning little bastard that lives inside my head and is called addiction goes, well, do you know, if you just had a cigarette now, you would feel better. No I wouldn't. So I've got to get rest. As soon as I'm done recording this video, I'm going into the room behind this wall and I'm going to lie down and take a nap. Because although I feel good right now, I feel quite peaceful. I feel like laughing a lot. But I know that if I don't get enough sleep, I just get cranky. And as an ex-smoker, someone who's dealt with addiction, I can't afford to get cranky. Especially if I might take it out on somebody that I love or care about, or even a random stranger in a shop. When I was in that supermarket on Friday night looking for that stupid pizza, I was like, I'm going to shout at somebody. I'm going to find the next member of staff and I'm going to tear them a new one, because it's their responsibility to get the vegetable pizza where I want it, because I'm so important. I'm like, yeah, that's ridiculous. I know that's ridiculous, but when you are on that train, you know, anything goes, and it's not good. I've got to slow down. So I've got to sleep. I've got to eat so that I stay well and healthy. The healthier I am, generally the happier I am. The happier I am, the less prone to stress and anxiety that I am. And I've got to make sure simple things. A lot of people don't talk about this. A lot of people will tell you, yeah, eat right and sleep right. Not a lot of people say, make sure you're warm or comfortable. If I am cold, then I'm irritable and I'm like, yeah. If I'm too hot, then I'm just lethargic and can't think straight, and then I get frustrated. So I've got to make sure I am well fed, well rested, warm and comfortable. Basically all my basic, most primitive needs are met. It's easier said than done sometimes. Like, I've been eating like crap lately, and you know, it's all come to a head this week. It's pretty much when I was in the supermarket, like, I shouldn't be eating vegetable pizza anyway. I should be just eating vegetables. That's what I need. It's a sign from the universe, Chris. You need to eat vegetables with no cheese and no bread. So that's what I did. Oh my goodness, the way things work, man. So yeah, so I've got to take care of myself. Talk to people. Come talk to you. Let it dissipate. And do you know what? If all that fails, then the best thing that I can do to stop myself taking my anger out on somebody else is just to walk away. I have an attitude these days that if I am not comfortable in any situation, then regardless as to whatever that situation may be, regardless as to what the social conventions are, I will put my jacket on, stand up and walk the hell out the door and not look back. No apologies, no fucks given, I've got to go. That comes from, that is everything, especially when I'm angry and stressed. And I do it not because I'm like, screw this place and I've got to go and I'm better or anything like that, but I do it because there are some times when I am so deep into the core of that train that is steamrolling along the tracks that no matter how much I try to pull that lever, it doesn't slow down. No matter how much I try to ground myself, I'm like, well, how do I feel right now? Am I hot? Am I cold? I'm cold and I'm fucking angry about it. You know, there are times when nothing works and I'm like, look, if I don't do something right now, then I'm going to get myself into trouble. I'm probably going to shout at somebody. I'm probably going to throw something or break something or just shout and make a scene. You know, that's something as simple as I might just go, ah, and make a scene. I've just got to take myself out of that environment. I did it a couple of days ago or a week ago, wherever it was. I was out with some friends and I was so tired that, you know, I didn't even have the strength to pull the lever on the train. Just my head was foggy and I was just trying to pour coffee. Again, there it is. See, coffee is the root cause of all my damn problems, man. I was trying to pour some coffee in a cup and I just spilt it and I was just like, I'm going to throw this cup. You know, and somebody jokingly said to me, oh, look at the mess you've made. And I was like, well, you made the same mess if you haven't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was about to go off at them. So I was like, right, I've got to go. I've got to take nothing is working. Nothing is working to calm me down. Get my jacket on, out the door, no apologies, no fucks given. I walked straight home, sat down, once I'd taken myself out of that situation, then I was able to ground. Then I was able to ask myself, was I really that angry about spilling coffee? No, I was angry because again, I wasn't getting what I wanted, which was coffee, which wasn't even coffee. You know, what I wanted wasn't coffee, it was to feel better. I wanted to feel less tired, I wanted to have a less foggy brain. You know, and by the time I got home I felt less angry. There was still, anger is an energy, so there was still some residual, like, do I need to punch somebody or throw something? So then, you know, I've got to burn that energy off. And do you know what? If it makes you feel better to go home and throw a cushion or get a cushion and like this. Something like that, right? If I've got, that's what I've got to do, then that's what I've got to do. Or if I'm, you know, it was dark that night, but sometimes I've done it, I've taken myself out of situations like I would have done if it hadn't have been dark when I was at the supermarket. Get on my mountain bike and go burn off some calories and burn off all that excess energy. And kick a football, go for a walk, go play tennis. I've never played tennis properly, but I imagine it'd be quite good because you just hit the damn thing. Get a punch bag. I'd love to like get a punch bag over here somewhere just so I can take it out without hurting or upsetting anybody else. And here's the best part about all this, right? As long as, if you take it out on somebody else, that consequence lasts for a long time. If you don't, if you find some other way, whether it's taking yourself out of the situation, grounding and dealing, you know, trying to apply a bit of logic to it, it passes. The feelings pass. Like I said, I've been very angry and very stressed and very tense lately in a way that I haven't been since 15 months ago when I was first trying to quit smoking. But they pass. I'm not angry now. I'm a little cold, a little tired, maybe a little hungry. But as soon as I'm done recording this video, like I said, I'll go eat, I'll sit, lie down, take a nap, I'll feel better. And why I'm saying this to you is that a lot of us sometimes we say, well, when I try to quit smoking, I get irritable, angry, stressed out. And I take it out on those around me. So therefore, it is in everybody's best interests to keep smoking. That is BS. There is no logic or rational argument behind that. I get where you're coming from, but it is BS. And let me tell you why. If you're like me, and you're the kind of person that gets angry, irritable, stressed and frustrated when you're withdrawing from nicotine and you're thinking, well, I better quit smoking for the sake of protecting my relationship with my partner, my children, my, you know, immediate family, friends, whoever it may be, then let me tell you something. It ain't gonna work. Because all you'll do is end up giving yourself all the crap that comes with smoking. Okay? Anger, stress, frustration, irritability. Did I say that right? Irritability. That doesn't sound like it's even a word to me. I told you I'm tired, right? All those feelings pass. I know it doesn't feel like it when you're in that moment and like you just going, yeah. Somebody says to you, don't worry, this too shall pass. You're like, fuck off. But it does. Do you know what doesn't pass though? Heart disease, cancer, gangrene, death. If you quit smoking for the sake of saving your relationship with your family and your partner, all you're doing is limiting the amount of time you're going to have with them, because you're going, you know. And I hate to use this approach in my videos, smoking kills. I even made a video about the real reasons why smoking kills, and it ain't death, cancer and heart disease. But the truth is that smoking does kill, and it will kill you. It nearly killed me. you know? So it's not an excuse. Do you think your family would rather have you not snap, not get angry, not get irritable, not get stressed, but die a lot earlier, or stay with them for a long time and learn how to deal with stress and anger and irritability and frustration without snapping at them? Even if, and I would never recommend this, worst case scenario, nothing works, you make mistakes, hell, I make mistakes, we all do, you do snap at them, do you think they would rather you die of heart disease or snap at them and make it up to them when when you finally manage to pull that thing and go, slow down? If it was me, I want you to live a long time. If the only option you have is to shout at me, shout at me. I'd rather you do that than die. So what I've talked about today is just a couple of things that help me manage and deal with those feelings. And there's one more that I want to talk about before I go, which eventually I'm going to make another video just about the withdrawal process. This is something that helped me so much, and again it comes back to visualization. And it's to imagine all of my smoking nicotine addiction as like this vapor or this black liquid or something that is entrenched within me, right down to the core of my soul. And I visualize when I start to get angry or stressed or tense or irritable, irritability, irritable, got it, sounds more like a word now. When I'm starting to feel those feelings, and I know for a fact that those feelings are caused by nothing else other than wanting a cigarette, what I do is I close my eyes and I visualize like this vapor or this gunk or this liquid like rising from me, and it's coming out of me and it's leaving me, it's dissipating, it's getting out of my system, and the feelings that I am feeling are just the physical side effects or the physical manifestation of this stuff leaving me. So I just go, like when you see, like in a horror movie, and like someone turns into a werewolf or something, they become something else, and it's painful. They normally scream, don't they? It's painful. They're like, ah, and they emerge as like a werewolf or whatever it is. I imagine that same thing. That it's like I'm transforming into a smoke-free person, and this is just the stuff leaving me, and I've just got to go, yeah, and it goes. That may not work for you, but it works for me. It took a lot of practice and a lot of effort to just sit there and go, okay, I'm transforming, this is leaving me, it's going, it's going, it's going. And eventually I'm calm again. So those are a lot of the things that helped me and that continue to help me. But before I go, I need to tell you this, okay? Since I quit smoking, the times that I have found myself stressed, irritable, angry, whatever it may be, are few and far between. Yes, I'm going through a lot of shit right now, okay? And a lot of it ain't good, and yes, I'm getting angry and stressed and stuff, which is why I'm coming talking to you, because you're my vent buddy. You're not going to give me suggestions and you should do this and you should do that. You're just going to listen, right? Because you love me and I love you and we're friends, okay? We're friends, right? This is a rare exception for me. Since I quit smoking, I have found a peace and a happiness that I never knew existed. I've talked loads of times about breathing in beautiful fresh air when I'm outside, experiencing a new kind of happiness, because my life has changed as a result of quitting smoking. And it is worth going through that physical feeling of feeling like shit for a while. And that's all it is, it's a while. It will pass, it will go. I know, like I said, I know that doesn't help when you're in the thick of it, but it will. I'm at that point in the video where I start to ramble and repeat myself, so I'm going to log off. Thank you so much for watching. If there's anything I can do to help you on your quick journey, leave me a comment, let me know. Let me know how far you've come. I love that. It is my favourite thing about making these videos, is seeing you guys tell me how far you've done without a cigarette. It honestly, and it gives me the motivation. When I was out in that supermarket, I was like, well, I can't do anything dumb because I don't want to go on YouTube and say, well, fuck that up. I want to go on YouTube and say, well, look, this is how I handled that situation, which I've done today. Rah. Okay, I'm out of here. Have a beautiful day. Leave me a comment. You can. I'm on Twitter at SmokeFreeLiving. I'll do Facebook and stuff at some other point. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.